up, y'all? It's Ms. V, and I am back with another video. As y'all know, today is going to be all things solo travel. I did get a few questions. A few of them were like kind of sort of the same or close to the same questions as other people's questions. So I have a pretty good list of questions to answer today. So we're just gonna hop right into it. So the first question that I got was, what do you plan your trips around? So to be honest, the only other thing I do besides travel is work. And I have a work from home job. So most of the time, if I'm booking travel, I will either take like my work laptop with me, and I'll be able to work from wherever I'm traveling to if it's in the US. If I'm going out of the US, if I'm going international, then I'll just take off of work. For the most part, when I'm going out of the country, I do take shorter stint trips, like the trip that I have coming up to Europe. I'll only be going for like 4 days. So I'm not really missing a lot of work. And for the most part, I don't work all weekend shifts every weekend. So I'm able to usually plan around like my work schedule. But other than that, I don't really plan trips around anything unless I know it's like a family event or something coming up that I wouldn't be able to schedule a trip around. Other than that, it's really just work. And most of the time, like I said, if I'm staying in the US, then I'm able to just take my work with me wherever I'm going. And then the next question that I got was, how do you choose destinations? That's a really good question. So I do have a trip list of destinations that I really, really, really want to go to. For the most part, I don't pick a destination. I usually will look up flights. And I use Skyscanner. Y'all, if you don't know, Skyscanner is like one of the best sites to use when you're looking up a flight. You can look up a flight to a specific place, or they have an option where you can put in like the dates that you want to travel, and you press anywhere and it will bring up like a full list of places that you can travel to during this time with different flight prices. So I usually use Skyscanner. I'll look up anywhere and I'll put in dates that I have in mind, and then I'll go from there with picking a destination. And then basically after that, I'll just pick a place. Unless I really do have a place in mind for the time that I want to travel. So like for my birthday, I usually always know where I'm going to go for my birthday. I'm planning my birthday trip a year in advance for the next birthday. So that gives me enough time to figure out where I want to go, do some research on where I want to go, and check the flights and stuff like that as well. Other than that, if it's just a spare of the moment type thing, like the trip that I have coming up to Miami, I literally just went on Frontier, put in Atlanta, put in Miami. Miami was only $18 for me to get a ticket to go. So yeah, I chose Miami over Atlanta, and that was just it. The next question is, what is the most enlightening thing traveling alone has taught you? I would have to say the most enlightening thing traveling alone has taught me is that I can do it by myself. I think one of the biggest fears for a lot of people when traveling, especially solo traveling, or why people don't solo travel, is because they're afraid of doing it by themselves. They're afraid that like they'll either get lost, or they don't know what they're doing, or they won't meet people wherever they're going, or it's not safe. And I'm gonna tell you right now, all of that is baloney. Being able to travel by yourself gives you a sense of freedom, because you're doing it by yourself. So you don't have to be on anybody else's time. You don't have to worry about anybody else putting up payments for anything. Like, it's all you. But then it also gives you a sense of bravery, right? Because you are doing this by yourself. You are going to this unknown place where you don't know anybody, and you're putting yourself out there and you're vulnerable, but that makes you strong, right? That's like, a dang, I just did that. I did that by myself. So yeah, it definitely has taught me that I can do stuff by myself wherever I go. Like, I don't need somebody else to come with me. If I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it. The next question was, what are some good tips for traveling alone as a female? This is a big one. The biggest tip that I have is make sure you look up the crime rate on female travelers wherever you're choosing to travel. That is my number one tip. Look up the crime that happens to female travelers, whether it's stealing, whether it's kidnapping, whether it's sexual assault, whatever. Look up the percentage of stuff that happens to female travelers wherever you're traveling to. That is the biggest thing that you want to look at. You also want to look at the travel.state.gov website. If you're traveling internationally, for the most part in the States, you can just look up the state online and see the crime information. If you're traveling out of the country as a female traveler, I definitely recommend, this is what I do whenever I'm traveling out the country. My number one thing is to go to travel.state.gov. I'll put a little picture in here so you can see what the website looks like, but definitely go on there and look up the place that you're going to on there, and it will literally bring up like any type of advisories for any crime, any like natural disasters that's happened, any political stuff. It will bring up all of that for you. Read through that, because that's going to give you all the information you need to make sure you're prepared for wherever you're going to. That's the first thing. My second thing as a female traveler is don't travel at night on like public transportation. I honestly would say don't even travel in an Uber, but I mean, I'm not gonna say, oh, you can't travel at nighttime. Like, just don't, like, be smart about what you're doing, be smart about where you're going, know the neighborhoods that you're going into. Do like research is the biggest thing here. Research is the biggest thing, because if you know where you're going, if you have a set like route that you're going to take, all of that, then you're prepared to go wherever you're going. If you're just trying to go somewhere willy-nilly and you don't know anything about the area that you're going to, you don't know how you're going to get there, how you're going to get back, you don't even know what the Ubers are supposed to look like, because a lot of these places also, you know, some people can be fake taxi drivers, or some people can be fake Uber drivers, or whatever you want to call them. So you have to do your research. And this is not just for females. This is for everybody, right? Like, this is for males too. But being a female solo traveler, you have to do the extra work, because you're more vulnerable than a male solo traveler. So definitely, like I said, make sure if you're traveling at night, you have a set plan in place. You know what you're going to do, how you're going to get there. You know, like, the town that you're going to be in, what to expect when you get there, like, you know, all of that. And then also, like I said, travel.state.gov, look at that information as well. And also, one of the things that I will tell you to sign up for is called STEP. So it's the Smart Traveler Enrollment Program. And when you enroll in that, wherever you travel to, you'll literally, like, if anything goes down, anything political, any emergencies, if it's any like huge crime thing going on while you're out and with that whatever country you're in, they will literally send you a notification letting you know, like, hey, this is what's happening right here, this is what you need to be paying attention to, this is where you shouldn't go. They'll let you know all of that. So I'll link that in the video as well, so y'all can see what that looks like. But make sure you keep that in mind too, to sign up for that, because that is from the U.S. Embassy. So like I said, if you're out somewhere in a different country, if something is happening in that country that you need to know about, they will let you know. All right, and then let me see, the next question was, what are good tips for those who travel on planes and get anxiety? So I will say, when I was trying to figure out ways to answer this question, it was kind of hard, because I only know of one of my friends, like, they both it's either fear of heights or anxious to fly. So I will say melatonin, because that's going to help you just go to sleep. You won't even know what's happening. You'll be knocked out for the flight, which is what you want. If you have anxiety, you either just want to be asleep, or you want to take something that's going to relax you. So melatonin. And then the other thing that I looked up, it would have to be a medically prescribed medication. But if you go to your doctor and say, hey, like I really want to fly, but I am very anxious and I have anxiety with flying, like what can I get? They will be able to prescribe you a medication that will just help relax you during the flight. So you'll be able to take it an hour or hour and a half before your flight. That way, by the time it's time for takeoff, you'll be good to go. Another thing that I recommend is finding an outlet that will calm you down while you're on a flight. So I know for me, like I said, I'm not anxious when I get on flights, but like I have a routine. I have a routine when I fly. So my routine is like once I get on the actual plane, wherever I sit, like I'm praying over all of the seats before I sit down. Once I sit down, I'm putting my headphones in and I'm turning on music. Now, me personally, I listen to gospel music when I fly. I know, like, you can listen to whatever you want. A lot of people listen to hip hop. A lot of people listen to R&B and all of that. So, if music is an outlet for you, and that's going to keep you calm, definitely put on music, because that will also relax you, right? That will not have you tensed up. It's like, okay, like I'm here, I got my music playing, I don't got nothing to worry about. I'm safe in my seat. I'm sitting down. I got my seatbelt on. We all good to go. So definitely listen to music, right? If you need to talk to a family member before you pull off, do that. If that's going to make you feel more comfortable, talk to a family member. Call somebody before y'all get on a runway, or even while y'all are taxiing up to the runway. Call somebody, say, hey, just want to say I love you. I'm on this flight. I'll let you know when I land. If you need somebody to like just talk to, definitely call a family member or a friend. So those are a few options that you have if you have anxiety. I mean, it's plenty more out there, but those are the ones that I can give to you right now. All right, and then the next question was, is it best to book an Airbnb or a hotel when going on a solo trip? So I will say this is personal preference. For me, if I'm going on a solo trip, I am booking a hotel. I will say there's also, like, if you're solo traveling, there's also a thing called hostels. I'm actually trying out my first hostel when I go to Miami. So I will let you know how that goes. But if you don't want to be in a hotel room by yourself, then you can stay at a hostel. I'll link the hostel world link down below. The information that was given to me from one of my friends was one of my friends that's very well versed in staying in hostels. She told me when you're looking for a hostel, definitely just look for places that have an 8.5 rating and up. And I believe it's a rating from 1 to 10. So if they have an 8.5 rating or higher, those are the hostels that you want to stay in. But like I said, the times that I have traveled before this time, I'll be going to Miami, staying in a hostel. I always stay in a hotel. I just feel more secure. I feel safer, and I know nobody is coming to mess with me. And it's easier for me to track if somebody is following me. So I mean, like I said, it's definitely personal preference, but for me, for my safety, I prefer staying in a hotel room versus an Airbnb. The next question is, as a female, how do you stay safe when traveling alone? So I did kind of answer this question, but for me, once again, I do my research extensively. If I know that I'm traveling somewhere by myself, like I said, I'm looking up the crime rate on female travelers. I'm looking up how safe it is to travel to where I want to travel to as a female traveler. If they're saying, hey, like, oh, it's safe, like, Paris and London, both safe to travel to as a solo female traveler. However, I'm trying to think. Oh, Colombia. That's why I was looking. Colombia. They say, oh yeah, like it's safe, but there are certain precautions that you need to take. So those are the things that you want to look at. Those are the things that I look at as far as being out, rusting bitch face wherever I go. I don't want you to talk to me. I don't want you to approach me. I don't want you to think that you can approach me. My face is wherever I'm walking to. Now I will say, if you're there's a lot of Facebook groups out there that I'm a part of and that you can also be a part of, where you're able to like do meetups and stuff like that with people if you are traveling by yourself. So I recommend those as well. If you know that you're going to be traveling somewhere, there are a lot of female Facebook groups that like wherever you're traveling to. So I'm going to Paris and London in June, and I'm a part of this group called Girls Going International. So I'm a part of the Philadelphia chapter because that's where I live, and then I'm also a part of the Paris and the London chapters as well. So I already reached out and made my post on there saying, hey, you know, like I'll be in Paris, I'll be in London these dates. Just wanted to see if anybody would like to do a meetup, hang out, blah 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 blah. You can do that as well, because one, you won't be by yourself, you'll be making friends, and then two, you'll also feel more secure knowing like, hey, like I have somebody with me, I'm not just out here by myself. And most of the time, the people that are responding to you, most of them are from wherever you're traveling to, so they'll be able to give you the ropes of the land, they'll be able to give you tips, they'll be able to tell you the local places. That way you're not spending all of your money going to all of these touristy spots. You're actually going to get a real local experience, which is better in my opinion. So staying safe as a female traveler, like I said, doing your research extensively and reaching out to or being a part of different groups where people can, you know, link up with you. That way you're not feeling like you're by yourself. That also goes into the next question: how do you feel meeting people abroad? So for me, I don't like meet people abroad like that. But if I do, it's definitely on a like, oh, like I'm just running into somebody and we're just having casual conversation. For the most part, I haven't really, maybe on two occasions, I made friends where like I've actually gotten their number and kept in contact with them after my trip. But other than that, it's just like, oh, like we're hanging out together at this certain area, and then once I leave that area, like I just go about my business, which is okay. You don't have to feel like you need to meet somebody and automatically be like, oh, we're going to be friends this entire trip. Like, no. But as long as you know, wherever you are, you have somebody to talk to, you're in a group of other people and y'all are getting along, even if it's just for wherever you are, that's okay. And then the next question that also wraps into that is, do you ever get lonely? I don't mind being alone. And like I said, for the most part, when I'm going on trips by myself, they're shorter trips. So I'm only going for a few days. I don't mind being by myself for a few days. So I personally don't get lonely when I travel by myself. The next question was, how do you save enough money? Baby, all of my traveling is budget traveling. My friends will tell you I am the cheapest traveler they probably ever know. Now, granted, do I have bills? Yes. But $18 for a flight, $200 for a flight to Europe? Baby, I'm just paying for it. I'm just paying for it. Like, I am a very cheap traveler. I will look up flights on Skyscanner. I'll compare those to the actual cost of them on the actual airline's website. I'll look at Google flights. I'll look at so many different flight engines. Okay? I'll look at so many different flight website engines. Okay? And I will pick the cheapest flight. One thing about me, I will fly Spirit or Frontier until they wheels fall off. I do not care. Now, granted, I really do like United, but if I'm going somewhere, Miami or Atlanta or Texas or anywhere in the United States for that matter, I'm gonna book that flight if it's cheap. And another thing that I will say, y'all be getting scammed with those dang on carry-on prices. The carry-on, a check bag. You better pack yourself a book bag. Pack yourself a book bag. That's what I do. I got my little tote bag from Pink, like Victoria's Secret. I got my little tote bag, and I pack all my stuff in there. And guess what that's used as? My personal item. Carry on where? Who paying $50 for a carry on? Who paying $50 for a dang on check bag? Not me. I don't do that. I use my personal bag as my actual clothes bag. The main thing that y'all do, I'm not even gonna say y'all because I don't know, but the main thing that a lot of people do is overpack. You overpack. If you know that you're going somewhere hot, first of all, why you gotta pack all this stuff? It's hot. You gonna be wearing bathing suits and like slim little dresses and shorts. You pick yourself an item for every day, an outfit for every day. And if you're going out, let's just say you decide that you want to go out, you're going on a 5-day trip, you decide you want to go out 3 of those nights out of the 5-day trip. You pack 5 outfits for the day, 1 per day, because I don't know how much y'all change, but if I'm outside for the whole day. My behind not coming back in until it's time for me to change to go out at night, unless I went to the beach. But if I'm going to the beach, then I'm going to just wear whatever I'm wearing to the beach. And then when I'm done at the beach, I'm going to come in, take my shower, and put on my actual day clothing. So you pack your 5 outfits, 1 per day. You pack your bathing suits, 1 per day, because I don't know who be switching bathing suits throughout the day. And then you pack your 3 little outfits at night. All of that overpacking, I don't know what I'm going to wear. I need options. No, you don't. No, you don't. Because that's why you paying extra for these dang on baggage fees. No, you don't. You pick 1 heel or 1 shoe that you know is going to match all of your night outfits. And then you pack 1 or 2 pairs of sandals. And if you packing sneakers, guess what you do with those sneakers? You wear them to the airport. You wear those sneakers to the airport. You do not need all of these clothes, honey. I'm telling you, you don't. You don't. You overpacking, which is making you having to pay for baggage fees that you don't need to pay for. So like I said, my 1 tip, pack a book bag. You can go to Five Below and get a book bag. Pack a book bag and make that your personal item, because your personal item goes under the seat. You don't gotta pay for that. That's my tip. So like I said, I budget travel with my flights and I don't pay for baggage fees. For my hotels, I'm going on booking.com. If y'all don't know about booking.com, well, now you know. They have an option that's reserve now, pay later. So you don't even got to pay when you book it. You literally pay when you get to the hotel. That's the option I always choose. Because now I have time to save up my money so that when I get there, I can just pay for the hotel when I get there. Versus me having to scrounge around and try to do all this extra stuff to pay for it when I don't have to. If I'm staying at a hostel, the one that I just paid for, I literally only had to pay a deposit. My deposit was $10. My whole entire my whole payment amount is $70 for four nights for $70. So I only had to pay $10, and then when I get to the hostel, I have to pay the rest. But it's all about budget traveling, okay? You can still do all of these fancy things when you get there, but you ain't got to pay all of this money to get there. And you don't got to pay all of this money to stay in a hotel that you're not even going to be in. People be in these luxury hotels and luxury Airbnbs acting like y'all about to be spending y'all whole day in there. You're literally waking up, getting in a shower, going to the bathroom, and walking out the door, and 9 times out of 10 not coming back in, like I said, until it's nighttime. Don't spend your money on all of these extravagant hotels when you don't plan on using the amenities that's in them. Just don't. So that's what I had to say about me saving enough money to travel, because one thing I do a lot is travel a lot throughout the year. Like, I travel a whole lot throughout the year. And my main thing, like I said, is just checking those flight prices, knowing when to book my flights. That's another thing. A lot of people don't know when to book flights. People be booking flights on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, when those are the 3 top days that the flights are high. The flight prices are high because it's the weekend. They're going to raise those prices up. The best days to book a flight is Tuesday, Wednesday, sometimes Thursday, but you gotta book it in the morning. Literally 5, 6, 7 o'clock in the morning, I'm waking up booking that flight because I know that flight price is going to be cheap. So you just gotta know the lay of the land when you're traveling. You gotta know what to look for. You gotta have a budget set on how much you're willing to spend. That's another thing. I always have a budget set on how much I'm willing to spend. Now, granted, the flight for Atlanta, when I was looking at Atlanta before I finally chose Miami, the flight for Atlanta was $39. I was like, I'm gonna see if I can find something cheaper. Went to Miami. The flight for Miami was $18. Hell yeah. You know what my budget was? I said, I'm not spending more than $70 for my flights. Ask me how much I spent for my flights. My flight there was $18 and my flight back was $39. That's $60. I say $10. So you definitely have to have a budget and know how much you're willing to spend for your flights, for your accommodations, how much you're willing to spend while you're out there. When I go to Miami, I'm not spending more than $500. I'm gonna be there for 4 days. I'm probably not gonna spend more than $400, to be honest. I done been to Miami so many times, I don't even need to do all the extra stuff. I done been parasailing, I done been snorkeling, I done been jet skiing, I done did all of that. I don't need to do it again. I'm going out there for the beach. I'm trying to lay in some sand. I'm going out there for the food. That's about it. I'm probably not going to spend more than $400 the entire time I'm out there. So you have to have a set budget. The next question was, how do you get photos of yourself? Selfies. I take a lot of selfies. Now, I will say I'm investing in, like the tripod stand. So I'm going to just set that up from now on. And just like, it comes with the clicker. So I'll be able to click when I want to take pictures and stuff. But selfies. Or if you run into, most of the time, so I don't usually ask, like if I see somebody walking by themselves, I don't usually ask them to take pictures of me. But if I see a couple, I'll ask the couple and be like, hey, like, can I ask you to just get a picture of me in front of blah, 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 whatever. Most of the time I'm like, oh my gosh, yes, like, of course. Well, the girl is, right? So, oh my gosh, yes, like, of course, we'll take the picture, blah, 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 blah. Just ask somebody to take the picture for you. Ask somebody to take the pictures yourself, as like I said, with a tripod stand, or you could just do selfies. And then the last question was, how do you keep your valuables safe? Another reason why I like staying in a hotel. Most hotel rooms, if not all of them, have a safe inside of them where you're able to make your own code and put your information or your money, whatever valuable stuff you have inside of that safe. And you're the only person that knows the code. Use the safe. Use the safe. If you don't want to use the safe, another thing I have, I wish I had them out here so I could show you, but I have luggage locks. So like for my suitcase, I have a lock that goes on my suitcase. If you don't feel comfortable leaving your stuff inside of the safe, get a luggage lock. And when you're leaving out of your room, lock up your suitcase with all your stuff in it. You're the only person that got the code. So luggage locks, hotel safes. If I'm walking outside, I have what is it called? Like a safety belt type fanny pack where I'm able to hide it under my clothes. So like if I'm going international, I take that with me everywhere I go. Because like I said, I'm able to hide it under my clothes. But I put my money in there. I can link that down below too. But I put my money in there. I got a picture of my passport in there. I got my ID in there. I can even put my phone in there, little lip gloss. So definitely, like, just if you're going out and you want something that's safe for your valuables, like I said, I'll link that the little fanny pack down below. But if you don't like that, just look up safety fanny packs for traveling internationally. And there will be a whole bunch of them that will come up, and you can just order one of those. But if you're talking about room-wise, staying in a room, definitely get a luggage lock, and definitely use the safe box inside of the hotel. Those were the questions. If y'all have any more questions, definitely ask me. I don't mind answering any questions at all to the best of my ability. If I don't know, I will definitely look it up and give you the information that I found. But yeah, those are the questions that people gave me to answer. So I'm going to put the travelstate.gov information in. I'm going to put the step information in, and I'm also going to link down below the fanny pack that I have for when I'm traveling abroad. But like I said, if y'all got any other questions, let me know. And just stay tuned for my next video. All right, y'all. As always, stay safe and eat healthy. Bye.